Tape Lounge members, we back in the LLs.
We here.
Episode 17. We took a week hiatus. Mr. Barnett here took a little trip to New York to go watch some NBA hoop. Take a little vacation. Roman, how was that? Tell us about the game. What'd you see?
Well, yeah, the trip itself was good. Saw some things. Concrete jungle. It's safe to say that I love Seattle. I love the trees here. But it was probably the worst basketball game I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. It was the Brooklyn Nets versus the Atlanta Hawks. No Trae Young in this game. So it was basically DeJounte Murray versus Mikal Bridges, and I don't know who would want to go see that willingly. The only reason why I went is because, each time I go to a new city, I want to go to the stadium, see what the vibes is like, see new teams and stuff. So definitely a good experience. Had solid seats, so it was fun. But I mean, I don't know. I feel for the Brooklyn Nets fans because if I lived there, I would not be going to that many games. It's just it's ugly basketball.
Who's the best player on the court?
That day, it was Mikal Bridges. Okay. I mean, I feel like that team is so open. It could be, for a lot of the game, honestly, it was looking like Dorian Finney-Smith.
Wow.
And he was driving to the basket. I've never seen him shoot a layup, but it was crazy. He had a driving dunk the first play of the game. It was crazy. But Mikal had like a 40 piece. He had like 38 or something like that, but it was probably the most boring 38 I've ever seen in my life. It's just a bunch of catch and shoot threes.
They need to trade all them dudes. They need to pack all them up. They got good value. Too many dudes over there that have like two first round pick value. They just need to pack all of them up.
Like if he really got offered, if the Nets got offered 5 firsts for that man, that's like denying 5 firsts for Chris Middleton, in my opinion. I feel like, and you would never do that.
No, yeah, you gotta jump on that.
Yeah,
He's not a cornerstone of a franchise.
No, and free Nick Claxton, man. He tries really hard, but that team is sorry. So he's basically doing that for nothing.
I'm a fan of his. He's a hustle player, rim protector.
No,
he's solid.
No, on a contender, he'd be really nice. Dennis Schroeder, probably one of the worst players I've seen in my life as well. He just hoops like he thinks, he hoops like he's the best player on the team. Like he thinks he's the best player on the team. When you watch him play basketball, that's what it looks like. It's like you can see the unrealistic confidence that he has going into basketball games. It's like, bro, give up the rock, man. It was cool though. It was a good experience for sure. Barclays that's the one thing I'll give Brooklyn. That stadium's nice. That arena's nice.
No, that's what's up.
Now while I was gone, I'm sorry. There's a lot of those comments. There's a lot of no emoji. No, not even your glazing.
That's crazy.
They just said glaze. That is crazy.
That's insane.
Okay.
Oh, that's insane. Whoever this is.
Yo.
Evan Castellan 3-3. Pause.
Bro, that's crazy. Shane just said glaze.
He said glaze.
While I was gone though, LeBron hit 40K in a loss to the Denver Nuggets.
The king.
Does this move him up? I don't know. Does this do anything in the GOAT debate?
I don't think it pushes the needle any farther. At this point, we understand that he's going to lead in all longevity stats. That's just how LeBron's going to look in his career right now. He's going to have points. He's going to have the rebounds. He's going to have assists. He's probably going to have the steals, just based off of his longevity alone. So, I don't think it's going to push the needle any farther. 40K is a cool milestone to hit. First player ever to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ridiculous when you think about it. I don't think anybody else is going to get 40K. Everyone's talking about how Steph Curry might have the next best chance. He's not going to play that long.
35. I don't understand. Anthony Davis is drunk for that.
Yeah, he's already old. Not older, I feel like. So he'd have to really play for the next 7 years. And the fact that LeBron is still playing, every bucket LeBron gets, the record gets farther and farther out. So I feel like even if somebody does get to 40K, they're still never going to catch Bron.
Yeah, no, that's one of the unbreakables. We was talking about, way back when, the average of triple-double in the season is unbreakable, but I think that this is truly unbreakable. There's no way, someone could, maybe the longevity-wise, somebody might be able to play as long as LeBron has, but in terms of the production throughout, 20 years, 21 years, I don't think this could be repeated.
We're definitely taking for granted what he's doing. It's kind of insane that we're witnessing this. And once he's actually done, it's going to be okay, bro, no one, even coming close to that. But we're just living through it right now, so everyone's kind of taking it for granted. But the fact that he's averaged 20 plus his entire career for 20 years, like, that's insane to think about. He's playing against people's sons that he used to.
Yeah, no,
he
crazy.
gave you 40 and your son 40. Like, that's disrespectful.
Generation lineage buckets right there. Who can get close though? Because I feel like there might be some people in the league that might be able to get close to that. One player I had mine is Luka Doncic. I think that the amount of buckets he gets, the amount of like the weight that he has to carry with that Dallas Mavericks team, and I mean, I don't know. This might sound crazy. It might sound crazy, but like I think that Luka might be like the best scorer. Like he might be the best scorer we ever seen
in NBA history.
Luka Doncic might be the best scorer that we've ever seen play basketball.
That might be crazy. Okay, it just depends on the context because I'm greatest scorer of all time. He's not the most dominant scorer.
No, because he's not like physically. He's not going to the basket and dunking on somebody like LeBron. But it's just like we've heard him talk before. Like, oh, this is way easier than Euro. And that was before he came into the draft, and we was kind of like, that's ridiculous, like of him saying that. But clearly, he can do whatever he wants out there.
I know he's getting buckets. He scored what, 73?
He scored 73, and I feel like
averaging 35.
It wasn't really talked about that much that he scored 73. I don't know. People like to blame the defense right now, which is, I think that right now the league favors the offensive player. So we'll see what happens with those rules going forward. But I think just the way the rules are set right now in the NBA, the way the game is played, we have not seen scoring like this.
And I when you look at his skill set, pound for pound, I don't think there is somebody more polished that we've ever seen. I mean, shooting, getting to the rim, body control, just playing at his own pace. There's no real weaknesses to his offensive game. That's what I'm saying.
He knows nobody can guard him.
Playmaking, there are no weaknesses to his offensive game. I mean, defensively, that's the one knock we can have against Luka is, I mean, he's a traffic cone on defense.
But for the amount that he has to carry on the other side of the ball, it's like I would almost give him the okay. Like, I understand that you can't exert your energy all out on the offensive floor, whether that is scoring, rebounding, trying to get, assisting, playmaking. And I mean, him not playing defense or, I mean, him being a traffic cone, it's almost understandable at that point.
He needs an MVP. I mean, I understand he's been in the conversation the last couple of years, but I feel like he has to put together a season where he's undoubtedly the MVP to actually establish himself as he's already one of those generational players, but he needs hardware now at this point. I mean, we've gotten to the Western Conference Finals. Did they make it to the, or they got to the semis? They got to the semis.
No, they made it to the Western Conference Finals.
And lost to the Suns.
It was the Warriors.
The Warriors.
They lost to the Warriors. That's when the Warriors won the chip. It was Dallas and Golden State on that one.
He just needs hardware now at this point. I mean, it's clear he's going to put up the numbers throughout his career. He's just going to need to actually put together some MVPs. He's going to need to put together some championships.
And we're going to see it in a Denver Nuggets uniform. I don't think it's going to happen in Dallas.
Whoa, that's vicious.
But I mean, yeah, I think that he's a better scorer than Kevin Durant to me. Like, maybe not a better shooter, but just overall scorer. I haven't seen Kevin Durant have this amount of body control. Pause.
That's the thing, though. I don't even think that's a crazy statement when you really lay it on the table. Like, Kevin Durant, for sure, better shooter, like sniper, one dribble pull up. But in terms of Luka Doncic, controlling the ball, running the point, just getting to the rim, floater. There's no weaknesses to his offensive game.
And the teams that he needs around him is it's almost like LeBron. LeBron-esque teams it's him and a bunch of shooters. And I think that one thing Dallas is lacking right now is a bunch of shooters. Like Tim Hardaway Jr., he can't be the only shooter that's on your basketball team. There's just no way. They're missing a Seth Curry.
Yeah.
They're missing who else they give up? I mean, Grant Williams wasn't great for them, but I mean, he still could stretch the floor
40 from the corner.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. PJ Washington could stretch the floor a little bit. Gafford obviously cannot do that. But yeah, Luka, he's one of the GOAT scorers already.
He got to give at least 10 more years of just 10 more years, and I need hardware. I think that'll solidify him as the greatest scorer of all time.
You think it happens in Dallas though?
I mean, the opportunity's on the table, too. He has a comparable roster around him right now. He's one of the best players in the world. I think the opportunity's on the table for sure. I mean, it could happen in Dallas. I think Mark Cuban's proved that he's an owner that's willing to surround his players with winning pieces. Like he's willing to go all in, and he understands what kind of player Luka Doncic is. This is a generational, once every 50, 100 years type player. So he's gonna try and maximize that. I feel like.
You think they're better than OKC right now?
I do think so. I honestly do think if they meet OKC in the playoffs, I'm going with Dallas 100% because Dallas has the best player on the floor. They have the best player on the floor and the third best player on the floor because it goes Luka, Shea, then Kyrie. And that's just how it shakes out. I feel like this is the year the Mavericks finally take that step, though. I think they have like a full year of finally gelling together with Luka and Kyrie after last year's disappointment. They bought in at the trade deadline, got new, like, good contributing pieces. So I feel like the ceiling of this team I feel like sky's the limit. We're going to see soon.
Where has been the disappointments of this NBA season?
I think my primary disappointment, I'll just go ahead and look at the Wizards. I feel like that's just going to always come back on the table. We can roll the clip somehow, but I said the Wizards were going to win 41 games. And I stood on business just because I felt like Jordan Poole, he was frustrated in Golden State. It was time for like a clean slate. Him and Kuzma was actually going to put in work. And they came out and just pooped down their leg this entire year. So he's starting to kind of put his together now. He's coming off the bench. He's been hooping.
Which is crazy.
But maybe he is just a six-man guy at heart, Poole. But no, it's just been kind of trash seeing how bad they are, and they have like the same record as the Pistons now.
He's in that Anthony Simons
he's in that tier.
No, he's not in that tier. He's worse.
Jordan Poole and Anthony Simons is the same player. So, bro, you give them the same opportunity.
They're the same player?
Yes.
I don't think they're nowhere near each other at this point.
You put Anthony Simons in the same role that Poole had in Golden State, same results.
No.
Yes. You think it's better?
Bro, Anthony Simons is a starting guard in the NBA right
For the
now.
Trailblazers.
Jordan Poole wouldn't start on that team.
For the Trailblazers, Jordan Poole wouldn't start. He's not the most talented player.
No, he wouldn't be No.
So Anthony's okay. No, now we're tripping because Anthony is not more talented than Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole might not even start for the Hornets. Is he better than Trey Mann?
Yes, he's better than Trey Mann.
Are you sure?
Trey Mann's just playing hungry because he got opportunity.
I'd rather have that. I'd rather have that than Jordan Poole. Whatever Jordan Poole is doing, whatever his mindset is, that sounds way better to me.
Okay, but he's scoring 30 right now his last couple games. He's starting to wake up. He's getting out of his funk. I'm just saying though, he's not Jordan Poole talent wise.
Would he start for the Spurs?
Yes. The
Are we sure?
The Spurs guard pool is just.
He's not better than Vassell. He's not better than Trey Jones
yes,
at this point.
He's better than Trey Jones. He's better than Trey Jones. That's the first person I was going to target.
Very debatable.
He's better than Jeremy too. If you want to put him at Jeremy,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes.
He got effort. That's one thing that.
Yeah, put him at power forward where he belongs.
Is he starting for the Houston Rockets?
No. Okay, because Houston actually has good guards.
He's starting for the Utah Jazz?
Yes.
He's not starting over. Does Jordan Clarkson come off the bench?
He's the same person as Jordan Clarkson.
Because I'd be disgusted if he was starting over Jordan Clarkson.
They're literally identical. Jordan Clarkson, Jordan Poole, Anthony Simons. Those are the three horsemen of just the six man, the six man flamethrower right there.
All right.
Because you have one of those three coming off your bench, you're a championship contender.
Okay, but that's your disappointment is the Wizards.
I said the Wizards. My second one though, I'm looking at the Golden State Warriors. I expected them to kind of pull it back together this year. I understand they're a year older. But they managed to retain the core, and the fact that the core has kind of just crumbled in front of us like this, it's been disappointing to see. They've started to rally as of late. I still feel like this window is rapidly closing, though, and I feel like they're over the hill at this point. I feel like once we get to the playoffs, we're going to just see them collapse.
Okay.
So I'm kind of disappointed in them, especially like Draymond and Klay specifically, those two. Klay, obviously, just playing like buns. He's obviously accepted his new role, and then Draymond just fighting everybody, acting out of control, and then just spewing nonsense on the pod. So
I like their new starter though. In pods. Brandon was a
Podachevsky.
Yeah, he's been solid.
He's a dog. No, he's a dog for sure.
I like him.
Leads the league in charges. Shout out Podachevsky. I think another one that we can kind of call a disappointment, just based off the circumstance, Memphis. I mean, we expected once John Morant came back after those 25 games, they were going to have a chance to get into the play-in. Like, it's going to be exciting.
I mean, that's not their fault.
It's disappointing, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we expected them to actually be, like, a fun team in the play-in, a young team. We love seeing John Morant play. Like, he's one of the most exciting players in the league. So the fact that he was back in that week, he was 40 points, game winner. Like, he was here to stay. And then season-ending injury. So I feel like that's disappointing, although it's kind of like not because of play, it's just injury, things we can't control. I think that's another disappointment.
The Brooklyn Nets are the biggest disappointment in the NBA. They are choosing to build around Mikal Bridges when his potential, his peak, his ceiling is probably Chris Middleton. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You get offered 5 first round picks, you got to take that. You have to take that. There's nobody else to, like, there's no building. Even if you're going to build around Mikal Bridges, the team right now, there's nothing, like, all those dudes are on that team right now. They shouldn't be on the team next year. Scrap the whole team. Like, anybody in a Brooklyn Nets uniform right now, they shouldn't be in it. And honestly, including Mikal Bridges, they should not. They need to get rid of dude. But if they're gonna really build around him, like, Cam Thomas isn't doing nothing for me. Ben Simmons, I seen him in a Celine sweatshirt at the game. Bro was, and he's been in one all season. He's cooked. He's done. After this, he might be playing with Dwight Howard after next season. His contract has one more year. He's probably playing with Dwight after next season. Who else? I mean, Nick Claxton works hard, but, you know, offensively, he's not great. You know, he needs to be the ball. Like, the ball needs to be fed to him. He can't do nothing with the ball when he gets it, really. Dorian Finney-Smith, probably the most overrated role player in the NBA. Like, he's solid, but for 2 first-round picks, he's off my team immediately. He, like, there's no way. Like, what are we doing? Especially because those picks or whatever, that trade that they did with Houston, like, Houston owns their picks. I mean, I think you just got to cave in right now, let them get the 2024 draft picks and just move on. Like, just wash your hands with it. But the Brooklyn Nets have been so disappointing. It's been ridiculous. And they're the most, on top of that, they're just the most boring team to watch. Like, there's nothing exciting going on in Brooklyn.
It's crazy how less than 2-3 seasons ago they had some of the, it was like all eyes on Brooklyn.
They're on top of the world.
On top of the world. And now it's kind of just gone to complete nothingness. Like you said, it's just a bunch of
trash,
a bunch of dudes over there. Just like a bunch of not young guys, not old dudes, just a bunch of middle-aged role-playing guys that can contribute to winning basketball but aren't winning in Brooklyn. So
a whole lot of mid. Yeah. A whole lot of mid.
That's Brooklyn.
A whole lot of mid. Okay, so I was scrolling through Twitter.
Yeah.
Screenshotted a few things that we gonna get into some. This is the Twitter talk.
Twitter talk. Let's go.
We're gonna tap into the Twitter talk. So
come on, Twitter.
We got this first picture. We'll put it up there for him. But This is the first picture. Who gotta go between Lauri Markkanen, Paulo, Scotty Barnes, and Zion Williamson?
One gotta go. I'm packing up Lauri Markkanen easy. This one's not too hard for me. Zion is one of the most dominant players we've seen over the last 20 years. I like the way he's playing like point forward this year. They've kind of given him the keys to the offense, and he's really orchestrating it well. Paulo, 4-seed Magic right now. No question there. Sophomore year. He's going to be one of the greats. He's going to be one of the greats.
He's going to be one of the greats, yeah.
Just going to lock it in right there. Scotty Barnes, he's leading his team in all statistical categories: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. I mean, he's doing everything for that team. It's hard. You can't eliminate him. And then Lauri Markkanen, the big shotgun. You know, what do they call him? What is he?
Oh,
the big-ass shotgun. Shout out to Sada Baby. But Lauri Markkanen, he's the odd man out in this one. He don't carry as much weight as these other three, I feel like. He's not the primary go-to ball handler. He's not orchestrating the offense as much as those three. He's a solid player, but he doesn't carry as much offensive weight and as much. He's not orchestrating the offense as much as those three, in my opinion.
See, I don't know. Eye test tells me Scotty Barnes, but then you go to the stats and it's like he leads in every category. On that team.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Lauri Markkanen got to go. Paulo's gonna be the best player out of these four.
Generational.
He's gonna be better than Zion. He might be better than Zion right now.
Paulo is better than Zion Williams. We can argue about it too. Duke. If we're talking about the Dukies that just came out, Paulo's the top Dookie, and like the Duke, I keep calling them Dookies. Paulo's the top Duke graduate of like the past 10 years, I'd say already. Yeah, I mean, who else out of Duke has really come out and made noise? RJ, Zion, Bagley. I mean, Tatum. Tatum's like the main one, but I mean Tatum, Adebayo, or was Adebayo Kentucky? No, he's Duke.
No, he's Kentucky.
He's Kentucky.
He played with De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox and Monk. But no, I mean, if you really look at the Duke players, Paulo's one of the blue chip, like Duke top tier guys we've seen. So
yeah, for sure. I mean,
I'm taking him over Zion.
It's debatable. When Zion gets in shape, it's a tough. And even now, I mean, Zion's playing solid right now, but it's just like if he really gets his body right, like if it'll be more debate. We'll come back to that
They
conversation.
said if Paulo starts playing like DeMar DeRozan,
and that's crazy. What is that even supposed to mean?
they said they're talking about how physical, like he could literally play like Zion is what they're trying to say, I think, but he be trying to play like because he has a bag, bro. He's a scorer, like he's a skillful scorer. He don't have to play bully ball every time. It's just a part of his game. But
bro got the Bron movement. I don't know. DeMar DeRozan's crazy.
That's crazy.
Stephen A came out with like a statue list, like who deserves a statue. But before that, Adam Drexler, Clyde Drexler's son, said that he asked Rip City, "Why does my father not have a statue in Portland?" So do you think that Clyde Drexler deserves a statue in Portland? Specifically before Dame, honestly, but just, I guess, in general, because I don't know.
I'm gonna kind of turn this question back to you because you say Damian Lillard deserves a statue.
Yeah.
So if Clyde gets a statue, then for sure Damian Lillard gets a statue. Because I mean, at that point, it's the same thing. I put in work for this city. I didn't win shit though. So I mean, it's like y'all could show love to these legends that like put in work for the city, put in work for the town. Was like the bell cow of the roster because Portland went to the championship, right? They went to the finals.
They did. And they met Michael Jordan.
So that's what like they actually went. They made it there. Like so, you could honestly say that he had more success than Lillard if we want to even push it that far.
Yeah.
So giving Clyde a statue isn't that crazy. He's one of those names you already hear a lot. Like he's still active and present in the game as well. So I think giving Clyde a statue isn't crazy. Especially because do they not have any, or do they have Bill Walton?
I don't know if they have any.
If they have any, I mean, Bill Walton or Clyde should be first. One of those two, and then Greg Oden and Lillard.
You said Greg Oden?
Yeah, Greg
You said
Oden.
Brandon Roy.
Greg
Oden. Crazy.
Lamarcus Aldridge, and then Lillard can get like he can get his jersey retired.
Greg Oden played like 10 more games than I did.
Lamarcus Aldridge get his statue before Lillard.
That's just not true. That's just not a fact. I think what takes in consideration is like the city embrace part of it. I mean, I know he did work in a Portland uniform, but did he embrace the city the way that Dame? Has any Blazer, embraced the city like Dame did? I don't think so.
No,
I think that's honestly one of the biggest factors of him getting a statue is just like he put Portland on his back. It might be tatted on him, bro. Like it's crazy.
No, for sure. Okay.
Like so, and then you think that Klay and Draymond, because Stephen A made a list and put Klay and Draymond as people who deserve statues. I don't think. No,
I for sure think they deserve statues.
Absolutely not.
I think for sure. I think they're kind of locked in at this point.
Absolutely not.
Draymond Green has been the heart and soul of this team for 10 years.
He can get his jersey retired.
But a statue of Draymond, bro, he's been the heart and soul of that dynasty Golden State Warriors team for 10 years.
He's not even top 75.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. For that Warriors team, they don't win championships without. I mean, he's the dog. He's the attitude of that team.
I think they do.
He's the leader.
I think they could have won a championship without Draymond Green.
They would have still won, but I don't think they win all of. They don't win 4? They have 4 right now. They don't win all 4. They win maybe 2 or 3.
They might have 5.
Without Draymond? Okay, see, no.
No, look, Draymond...
They for sure win if they have Draymond in the series where he got eliminated. The one where the Cavs came back and won 3-1.
They had multiple games that he came back for. They've only missed one game.
I'm just saying, though, Draymond is for sure jersey retired in Golden State. Just because...
jersey... I'm saying...
Jersey retired and statue.
No,
yes.
Absolutely not.
I think statue. Just because of what he actually meant to that. Like, he's the heart and soul. He's the bell cow.
The only way that happens is if they made like a statue of the trio. He does not get his own statue. Like there's no solo Draymond Green statue that will ever exist.
Well, I think there honestly could be, just because they might give him his own section in the arena.
You notice that they put them boys together, because there's no way individually they're getting statues. There's just no way.
I think we really got to go down to the Bay and find out what he means to the people in the Bay, because bro,
we'll make that trip.
He's like, bro, he's the attitude. He's like the attitude. He's the heart and soul. Like he really is like the rallying point of that whole Warriors dynasty.
So by your logic,
he brought Kevin Durant.
So by your logic, Dennis Rodman needs a statue in Chicago.
I wouldn't say it's the same, because Michael Jordan was the leader of that team.
Draymond Green wasn't the leader of those.
The vocal leader for sure. Yes, for sure. Yes, he's definitely the vocal. Like Steph Curry's not the vocal leader. Kevin Durant was the vocal leader. Draymond Green was the vocal face. He was the vocal leader of that team.
But he's also played a part in, first of all, losing Kevin Durant, because you could have more championships. He's the reason why Kevin Durant's not there anymore. He kicks people in the nuts. He jumps on people's chests.
He does, but that's part of the love that you have.
No,
he's doing it for the Warriors on his chest.
No,
he's doing it for the city.
Yeah, so
that's why he's gonna get a statue.
He's not gonna get a
that.
If it's a statue of all three of them, sure, but he's not gonna get an individual statue on one of the corners of Chase Arena, whatever. Like it's just not gonna happen. And then Klay Thompson, absolutely not as well. The jersey retirement would be dope though, but a statue of Klay Thompson, you're kidding.
I could see them doing. They got to give Steph a statue outside. He's locked for outside.
Curry's
a lock.
Curry's lock. He's the only lock in that organization.
So we can't get a Splash Brothers. We got to do something for the Splash Brothers. We have to have a Klay.
Okay, so the three of them together, but they're not gonna get one. Like that's not
saying.
In the corners of the
If Steph is. Those three are the only ones that deserve stat, bro. If Steph's outside, Klay and Dray got to be inside.
Did Wilt play for the Warriors?
Yes. All he did was score.
Statue.
All he did was score 50 a couple of times.
He averaged 50. Where's his statue?
50 and 50.
Where's his statue?
Seen it a couple of times.
Where's his statue?
He didn't win. He never won. He won in LA.
Is Draymond Green better than Chris Mullin?
Yes.
No.
100%. Because he won.
He's better than Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yes, because he won.
Is he better than Mitch Richmond?
Yes, because he won. Draymond Green is a winner. That's what we have to put this. His stats don't really matter.
Bro, he averages like 9 points a game.
You can't look at his stats. It's the intangibles.
Bro,
when he dive for a loose ball and scream into the sky.
Have you ever seen him dive for a loose ball with big ass dive? Have you seen his big ass dive for a loose ball?
No, I promise you. When he dives for a loose ball or takes a hard foul and he starts screaming in the Chase Arena sky.
I'm looking up his stats real quick. I'm sick of this. Bro. It's the Wi-Fi geeking right now. I'm just trying to look at some Draymond Green not highlights. Draymond Green stats. I would never look up Draymond Green highlights. There's gonna be him swinging on people, jumping.
There's probably some good hustle Draymond Green highlights.
Like, how you gonna kick Steven Adams? He's like the nicest dude ever.
He got fouled.
Ooh,
Steven Adams fouled him. That's why he flopped. He kicked his legs. He got fouled.
He kicked his nuts. He ain't even you can't even average a double or something. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're gonna average only not less than 10 points, you gotta give me double-digit rebounds.
Okay, remember Draymond in his prime though? He was doing 5x5s. Like, we can't forget that he was really the defensive player of the year. He's past his prime now.
He was past his prime after 2016. He was cooked after that. Like, bro left all his offensive ability in that game 7.
No, he did.
As
soon as they signed Kevin Durant, he stopped getting those usual shots that his usage rate on offense went all the way down. So he stopped. He used to be a 3-point shooter. Like, he used to actually knock down the 3 at a consistent clip. Then he kind of just lost it as soon as KD showed up. I don't know. But he's still an effective player. He's a winning player.
Draymond's weak to me. That's just me. He's weak. No. He'd probably be the sorriest NBA. He'd probably be the sorriest player in the Hall of Fame once he makes it. If he makes it.
Okay, but he does the intangibles. We can't measure him on his numbers.
You think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yes. Winning basketball. I mean, if
giving away Hall of Fame.
That's the thing, though. It's good that he played with the Warriors. If he played with anybody else, Draymond Green is not Hall of Fame. But the fact that he played this role as well as he did for the championship dynasty Warriors, easily Hall of Fame.
He needs to go somewhere else and prove that he could hoop.
Even if he did, it wouldn't push us any further, in any direction.
He's the last one. He's the last one picked in the Rico Hines runs, bro. No one's picking up Draymond Green on their team. What are we doing?
No, okay.
He's last pick in the Rico Hines runs.
He does the intangibles.
He's not.
He's an intangibles guy.
And Klay, we don't even need to talk about Klay. No, he don't. All right, I will even see Draymond's before Klay.
They're both gonna get the statues. Kevin Durant.
Actually, no, Klay's before Draymond
because they have to separate Kevin Durant from those two. That's the kicker. That's where it's really.
Kevin Durant's better than both of them. I'd rather put a statue up of KD before I put a statue.
No, because that's the thing. They're gonna have to separate him because they know they have to retire KD's jersey. That's the thing. It's a given. He won 2 Finals MVPs there, so they're gonna retire his jersey. And if Draymond and Steph, if that's all they get is a jersey retirement next to KD, they're gonna be pissed. So the only way to right that wrong, if we're retiring KD's jersey, we got to give them statues. And it makes sense because they won 2 more rings here as well, in addition to the 2 that he won.
I don't want to see that.
If I have 4 rings and he only got 2, why am I in the rafters next to him?
So if Kevin Durant never went there, then
Oh, they still get statues.
Oh God, no. And Kevin Durant might be the first player to deny or say no to a jersey retirement. I feel like he does not. I feel like he does not rock with the Warriors like
No,
that.
he really
I
does.
feel like if they ask him, "We gonna retire your jersey, KD?" He'd be like, "I guess."
I'm cool. Like,
Yeah, like he
I
might be
guess.
cool. He might be cool off that for
He
sure.
probably doesn't care about Oklahoma City. He's like, it is what it is.
Oh
Like,
well, he's definitely not getting his stuff retired. And it's like retired. I don't know. Like there won't be another Oklahoma City player that wears 35, but like it's not going to be officially retired. Anyways, because yeah, like Giannis is going to get a statue. Klay and Draymond's not Giannis. LeBron in 2 different places is going to get a statue. But Klay and Draymond are supposed to be on that tier. Like you got to be on a certain tier to get a statue. There's just and you've even said it yourself. So
4
Klay,
championships though.
but but they were not.
And well, okay.
So Klay, I understand. Draymond.
What was this Warriors team before they got here? The last 20 years is just defined by those 3 players. That's what I'm saying.
But-
the entire 2000s so far, other than the We Believe team,
So they're
which was fun.
So we're giving statues to role players, is what you're telling me. They're glorified role players.
okay, but
They're
that's
really
the big
good.
3.
They're really good role players.
That's the big 3.
What other role player has a statue? So by your logic, Manu Ginobili should get a statue with Tony Parker and Tim Duncan in San Antonio.
It wouldn't be crazy. I said
No, because I mean he's a better player than both those dudes, though.
but it wouldn't
Both
be. It wouldn't
Klay
be
and
crazy though,
Manu.
if Manu got a statue. It would not be. People wouldn't be. That would not be wild. So that's what I'm saying. If you put so much value into Manu won championships. He won championships there. He was a key factor in winning championships. Draymond and Klay were key factors in winning championships.
We're giving,
Iguodala might get a statue.
and that's insane. If I see an Iguodala statue anywhere, I would
An
be upset.
Iguodala statue is crazy.
I better not even see one outside of, where do you go, to Arizona? Like there's an Andre Iguodala statue should never exist. Just like a Klay and Draymond.
They're gonna
statue
get him.
should.
That's almost a guarantee for those 2 to get a
It's
statue.
undeserving, in my opinion. The jersey retirements, like, we would give the statues to role players for what?
But that's the thing. They're not role players. They're part of that big 3. It's a different sort of big 3. But it was the Splash Brothers. And
Okay,
Draymond.
so if the statues aren't the 3 of them together, then like it makes sense for you're talking about the trio. So the statues should all be together, and then
That's the
Steph
thing.
gets his own.
They're putting
but
Steph
then
by himself. So I'm like, they can't have.
They can put Steph by himself while having Klay and Draymond somewhere else, or
You
you
put
just
Klay
put,
and Draymond together.
no. So it'll be like
That
Steph.
works.
No, but it'll be like Steph in the statue also, but then like Steph gets like a bigger one somewhere.
Outside?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
No, I could. That's the best way to do it. That's
they don't get outside statues. Oh,
No.
the thing is, no.
They
Klay
don't
and
get
Draymond.
outside. They don't get outside.
Klay. Okay, see, so they can get individual statues inside the arena.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
that's what I'm
all right.
saying.
Oh, okay. I
They're
thought
not
you was
getting no
talking
outdoor.
Oh,
No.
I thought we was talking about outdoor.
Steph is outside.
Steph is out.
Steph is outside.
You know-
he get a couple of statues outside.
That's what I'm saying.
He get
You
the
know how
Kobe.
cold. Yeah, no, I'm about to say he might. He
The,
is.
the
yeah.
West Side Steph statue, the East Side Steph statue.
Outside every entrance of the arena.
The Curry
there's a
statue.
Curry statue.
That would be valid. We wouldn't even care at that point.
Yeah.
Draymond and Klay is inside though. They next to concessions, but they have a statue because they deserve a statue. They have a
Like,
statue.
nothing outside. Top 5 players in the NBA. I guess it's no order, but Shea, Luka, Jokic, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant. Is that an accurate list, or who would you take out and who would you put in?
I think as of right now, it's pretty accurate. I think one player that we're kind of just kicking to the wayside, Joel Embiid, Giannis. Those are 2, but I'm saying those are still 2 dudes. Like even regardless, we have to consider them. Giannis, especially though, I'd put Giannis in there over Tatum. I put Giannis in there over KD. As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
I think
I don't know,
KD's taking a step back this year. Like we're seeing KD, the slow regression is beginning. Like we've talked about it already.
That playoffs last year.
Yeah, I mean
Was it last year?
yeah.
Yeah.
Where he kind of fell off to the wayside, or even like the year
Disappeared.
before in Brooklyn, like same sort of thing. They lost to the Celtics and just got cooked.
Swept.
So I mean, we're kind of seeing, although it's still KD, and last night he did kind of win the Suns the game. Like he missed like 5 shots and then made his last 5 shots. But I mean, at this point, I feel like it's safe to put KD outside the top 5 in NBA. I think we can bounce him out to like he's 6 to 10.
I might slide LeBron in there for Kevin Durant.
That's fair.
I think LeBron's playing like a top 5 player right now, and And that's why it's important for the Lakers to do something in order to get that man some help. I mean, I'm usually in that crowd like, oh, you know, they should figure it out. But he's old at this point. Now it's reasonable for him to go try to look for some help. He's 40.
He's
like,
40.
Like, it makes sense for him to want help at this point. I mean, all the past times, like in his prime when he was looking for help, okay, I understand that might be a little bit more questionable because he was in his prime. He should be able to carry. But now that he's 40 years old, and it's like he needs dudes around him. That's why Trae Young coming to the Lakers next year.
Oh, wait. Since we're talking about Trae Young, I heard Trae Young to the Spurs. How do you feel about that?
I would love that.
That's prime time.
I have no idea what the Spurs will give up, though.
We just pack up every first round. Anything but Wemby is yours, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Those two, though, Wemby and Trae, man.
Atlanta, go get their picks back for the ones that they got from DeJounte. Just go get your picks back.
Get them back.
I'm gonna just put you on the spot. Who has the most underrated career in basketball?
Most underrated career?
Like, we don't talk about this dude that much, but his career is crazy. For me, it's probably Tim Duncan. I feel like when we talk about all-time greats, when we talk about, I think it's just because he played for the Spurs.
Yeah.
His game isn't really exciting. I feel like his career in general is just outlandish, really. Like, he's one of the all-time greats, but I feel he just doesn't get talked about that much.
Just because he's boring game. I mean, like you said, it plays for the Spurs, boring game. But he's what? Four-time champion. Five-time champion. Defensive player of the year. All pro almost every year he played.
Stayed with
all
one
defense
team.
Almost every year he played. Like, when you really look at his resume, it's fake. And I agree. He's one of the most.
Like,
he might be one of the most. He probably is the most overlooked superstar of all time. Like, he's.
He probably is the most.
He
overlooked
probably is the most overlooked. You hit the nail on the head.
He don't be talking. Well, I guess he does. He be talking shit, but like it'd be like
low key. It's real low key.
KG was like, gotcha.
Yeah, that was who I was thinking about. KG. Because I always like Kevin Garnett. I've always been a fan of his game. I feel like modern NBA, if he was playing, like he wouldn't miss a beat. I feel like he'd like add a 3-ball to his game. Like he'd kind of just he wouldn't miss a beat at all. So
That Celtics champion, I hate that team.
Really,
the most overrated championship probably ever.
It's one of the most. It's an overrated championship just because they had a lot of dudes and it was one championship. But I still respect it a lot. I'm a big
respect it, but
they were old by the time they all got together. They were older, like they were 30.
But they were still respectable.
No, they were, but I'm saying it wasn't. It's not what we're seeing today, where the people are linking up early on in their career. Like we're linking up 20s, we're linking up 25, 26, and
who's linking up that young?
Biggest one, KD, LeBron going to Miami when he's still in his prime.
Like that one, yeah.
Dudes are like more willing to go join other superstars when they're in their prime, in a sense, not 30s, like kind of over the hill in that sense. Like KG was trying to win in Minnesota. Like he was dedicated to trying to win in Minnesota, got the MVP there, like trying to make the playoffs. And once it finally was like over, he was 30. Like he was old by then. So it was just like he was past his prime, but he was still like a legit solid player. So no, I really like Kevin Garnett. Maybe not the most overrated, but I think he did have. I feel like he's one of those players that we do kind of forget about just because power forward position is tough. It's a tough position.
It's a tough position.
No, yeah, we both said power forwards. Tim Duncan and KG.
Yeah, crazy. Got anything before we get out of here?
Man, this past week, Caitlyn Clark broke the NCAA women's all-time scoring record, so she now holds that record. And in addition to that, Angel Reece won another SEC Player of the Year. My question to you, as these two players prepare to enter the WNBA after this after this college season, what are you expecting from them? Who do you think is going to have the better WNBA career between Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reece?
It's going to be Caitlyn Clark. She's going to be the Steph of the league. And I'm going to say this. She's going to come in there and bust all their ass, too.
Early?
Yeah, early. It's going to be early. Light work.
Man.
Light work.
You're talking like...
She going to come in first game and have like a 30-piece.
Okay.
Like, game one. It's up.
What about Angel? You think Angel's still is she going to be good in the W?
I don't know. I feel like
she got a different sort of game. She got like a much more, she's back to the basket, like more so dominant. I'm going to like out physical you type buckets.
Like, is she better than Asia Wilson? No.
No. Yeah, no.
Is she better than, there's one big girl that's in Indiana as well. She was Aaliyah Boston, I think that's her name. She ain't better than her. It's going to be tough for her. She gonna get cooked by Brianna Stewart. Akuma K. Like there's a bigs down. There's comp with the bigs. You know what I'm saying? There's big. Like they ain't. I feel like guard wise. I mean, they're still good guards.
She's a revolutionizing
Sabrina.
player. Caitlyn Clark is different.
She's the confidence is there. We're probably gonna see her in the what should I call it, in the 3-point contest next year.
That was my one thing. I seen that wherever she goes, wherever she does get drafted, I hope that they have her in a situation where she doesn't lose her confidence. Because that's like the biggest part of her game to me is the fact that she's mentally, I can dribble up court and I have like the green light to shoot this from 40. Like that's the best part of her game. So I hope they don't take that away.
And we're gonna have to get into that game, Storm. And
Mandatory. Whenever CC's in town, like I want to go see that in person. I'm trying to go see the 40-foot. I need to see it. Come on.
It got to be near court size.
Yes. Come on.
It got to be somewhere near there.
Plug us, Jewel, please.
Oh
good,
man, is that what we got?
Good money, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, episode 17.
17.
It's done for.
Stay tuned for us. We're coming soon with some more content. We'll be back with the Circling Sports local sports segment coming soon this week.
Keep tapping into that.
Into that. So stay tuned for that. We got some good stuff coming there. But yeah, episode 17 of the Layup Lounge. We're gonna be on the move. New location next week. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, this has been episode 17. You got anything?
Oh man,
Do your due diligence.
do your due diligence.
Let's get it.
Bronny James top 10, 2024.